Hi, guys, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Football Muse podcast. I'll be your host, Kelvin, and today we'll be delving into the murky waters of the FIFA scandals. Since it was established in 1904, the FIFA Federation International de Football Association was created to oversee and organize international football competitions, fostering global unity through the beautiful game. However, the organization finds itself under scrutiny for allegations of corruption and unethical practices. In this episode, we'll dissect a couple of the scandals surrounding FIFA, the World Cup bidding process, and implications for the football governance. In this episode, we'll dissect the scandals surrounding FIFA, the World Cup bidding process, and the implications for the football governance. So, to start off, I hope you have seen the clip. We'll start off with the first scandal, which dates back to 2015, the infamous FIFA scandal, in which the US Department of Justice, the DOJ, revealed indictments against 14 FIFA officials and associates. In the rank were nine FIFA officials and five corporate executives indicted for racketeering and conspiracy and corruptions, as evidence in this document. Also, it goes to show that there's more behind the beautiful game that we don't know. Much of the things that happen behind closed doors show that the beautiful game is mad by, let's say, racketeering, wired fraud, and money laundering, which spans over 24-year scheme involving 150 million in bribes. This is as of 2015. We don't know how much we'll uncover going forward. I would definitely like to check on other documents, but going forward, we'll base the first scandal on the FIFA, on the indictment by the DOJ in 2015. These funds were allegedly exchanged for lucrative media marketing rights and a host of other things for the FIFA tournaments. And to touch on lightly, I think we can mention two of the key individuals implicated in this indictment of the DOJ. The first one was Jack Vanna, former FIFA vice president, accused of accepting millions in bribes, including 10 million tied to South Africa's 2010 World Cup bid. Most of you will remember this. It's our childhood memory. This goes to show that no bidding process goes on as alleged. It goes on. Goes to show also that money exchanges hands for quite a lot of things to get done in the football tournament sector. The second individual to be implicated is Chuck Blazer. He was the former CONCACAF Secretary General turned whistleblower who confessed to facilitating bribes for World Cup hosting rights. This not only mars a host of the tournaments that we've witnessed and we've enjoyed in football terms, goes to raise suspicions to the 2022 World Cup, in which most people today will always say it was fixed. I would like to believe this, but I digress because I'm a Messi fan. Anyway, spilling over into the 2022 World Cup, it goes to the bidding process of the 2022 World Cup and the 2018 World Cup in Russia. They were mad in controversy. The Russia one today is always questions being raised, and a host of allegations arose from these things. The two bidding processes, bribery and voters and vote swapping to politically influence, overshadowing merit-based decisions. So, first off, how do we phrase this? A country which faces extreme criticism for immense heat, requiring innovative air conditioning stadiums, human rights abuses, and exploitation of immigrant workers. This is Qatar getting the hosting rights for 2022, coupled by Sepp Blatter's comments in which he said football fans who might be gay should reconsider their sexual activities if they are to go to Qatar. Makes you wonder, during the bidding process, was it necessary to settle down on Qatar based on the global dynamics which are changing rapidly? Everyone has their own set of beliefs, and most probably fans who are in the LGBTQ community. I know I misspelled it, but forgive me for this. But most of them wanted to go to the World Cup. I don't know if this implicated most of them not to attend the World Cup, but who knows? Sepp Blatter's comments say they should reconsider their sexual activities if they want to go to Qatar. And Garcia report it kind of cleared Russian Qatar of corruption, but was criticized as a whitewash for its lack of conclusive findings. Either way, be it as it may, that they were cleared, it leaves a very, very tainted picture of how football is governed by the main body, which makes me wonder, is the 2034 World Cup hosting rights for Saudi Arabia, did they go through the uh, due process, of which involves vigorous and rigorous checks, scrutiny? I honestly think the 2034 hosting bid that was won by Saudi Arabia was influenced by money changing hands. I might be wrong for this, but checking into documents, I think Geneva Associated Press stating that Saudi Arabia's growing influence and massive spending in global sports ahead of being confirmed as the 2034 World Cup host cites the document cites risks to good governance of the field, of which mainly can be tied down to the initial process where uh, documents from the DOJ showed that money changes hands, and post 2015 there was expanded voting, human rights considerations. But then you ask yourself, are they going to implement these reforms? Because it seems that there is lack of enforcement, as evidenced by the Saudi Arabia's unopposed bid for the 2034. Nobody opposed them, which means quite a lot of money changed hands. The Qatar bid uh, raises suspicion because went over most probably 200 million or a billion. I'll check this and update it as needed. And also, who will fight for the migrant workers who go into these countries to build these stadiums to ensure that we have enough stadiums to host these games? Because without enough stadiums, there are no games to be hosted, which means these workers might be overworked, as it was in Qatar. Most of them, uh, as evidenced by the Human Rights Watch document, failed to be compensated of past abuses and wage theft as the new forms of exploitation. So, if this is Qatar, a country that's close to Saudi Arabia, you quite ask yourself what will happen in Saudi Arabia, which is a country that is known for its serious issues implicating human rights abuses against women rights. Things were rushed for the Saudi Arabia bid, and they faced no competition. Looking into Sepp Blatter's downfall before he was taken out, he was president of FIFA since 1998 to 2015. He presided over quite a lot of controversial moments, and his tenure ended amidst allegations of financial improprieties, including disloyal payments of 2 million to Michel Platini, the former UEFA president, and the scandal led to his suspension of from football related activities. But this doesn't go to show the beautiful game will be saved. It also goes to show no matter who's taken off the head, the body will still continue with what was there before. Whoever comes in will just take over from where it was left off. Looking into Gianni Infantino's time, you quite ask yourself what changes actually made, because same issues since the Blatter's time are continuing, this time even bigger, and I'd say worse, because like the Carter bid, well, however, it happened during Blatter's time, but then I think he had a chance to maybe hold Carter by the throat and ask for more compliance to human rights, and also the death, no, the capture of the Carter whistleblower Abdullah Bais leaves quite a bitter taste because FIFA washed its hands of Abdullah Bais a month before the Qatar World Cup despite clear evidence of grossly unfair trial and prosecution investigated by the Qatari partners. I think Infantino would have played a much greater role if he went on to, quite frankly, make sure that Abdullah will get justice. Being a whistleblower, he can be covered under the rules that govern the whistleblowing community. I know there is some in the US, but I don't know about the Qatar side. But FIFA should uphold integrity over all matters, despite who is at play. The Qatar side, money is not an issue. And you quite ask yourself, will we actually ever get to a solution of these scandals rising up with the UN group, which has been emphatically been asking for the release of Abdullah Bais and the quashing of his conviction to ensure his right to an effective remedy. Goes to show that FIFA doesn't care about whistleblowers. Perhaps we don't want to dive into conclusions, but as it stands right now, and confirm that we don't have enough from FIFA to show that they are willing to fight for whistleblowers, that they are willing to go against the money. Money is changing hands. And as you have seen in the initial clip, in the start of the video, the lady confirms that money changes hands to get a bid. A lot of things go on behind closed doors, and these guys just come to inspect the stadiums, and then they'll say, oh, well, we are ready to host the World Cup, be it the 2026 here in Canada and the US, or be it the one in 2034, the one in 2030. A lot of dynamics playing here are at play here, and you quite ask yourself, FIFA having achieved monumental success in globalizing football and its legacy, which has been tainted by persistent allegations of corruptions, as fans demand accountability and transparency to ensure that the sport, quite frankly, retains its. And the bigger question is, can FIFA truly reform, or will it remain a powerhouse shrouded in controversy? That's it, legends, for today. Catch you in the next one.